Listen to me. You weren't born to wake up, go to work, pay bills, and die. There's something deep inside of you, a fire. And I'm here to tell you, you gotta find that fire and follow it with everything you got. See, most people, they walking through life cold. No passion, no energy, no drive. They lost their fire a long time ago. Or worse, they never lit in the first place. Well, not you. Not anymore. Your fire, that's your purpose. That's your calling. That's your why. And the moment you stop chasing comfort and start chasing fire, everything changes. You want to be successful? You want to be fulfilled? You want to leave a legacy? Then you better find your fire. And when you find it, you better protect it, feed it, and follow it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Told out you dream, but they don't see the fire. They don't feel what you feel. You got that burning desire inside of you, and that's enough. No excuses, no fear, no plan B. You find your fire, and then you follow it with all your heart. Because when the fire is real, it'll wake you up at 4 a.m. It'll push you when you're tired. It'll keep you going when everyone else quits. Don't just survive life, set it on fire. Everybody on this planet has something special inside of them. Something the world didn't give and the world can't take away. But the tragedy is, most people go through life without ever tapping into it. Most people never slow down long enough, never get still enough, never go deep enough to figure out why they were really born. They get distracted by the noise, caught up in the routine, chained by the opinions of other people. And in the middle of that chaos, they forget something important. They forget that there's a fire inside them, a purpose, a calling. And if they don't find it, the world will bury it. You can't afford to live your life not knowing who you are and why you're here. You weren't created just to survive. You weren't born just to fit in. You were born to stand out. You were born to be great. And that greatness is not found outside of you. It's not in some book or degree or status symbol. It's already in you. It's the fire. But here's the thing. It won't come alive on its own. You've got to search for it. You got to want it. You got to dig deep and be honest with yourself. What moves you? What breaks your heart? What problem in the world keeps you up at night? What dream keeps tugging at your spirit, no matter how much you try to ignore it? You got to stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you're okay with average. Stop saying you're fine when you know you're not. Deep down, you know there's more. You feel it. It's that voice in the back of your mind that whispers, you were meant for something bigger. That's the fire trying to speak. That's your purpose trying to wake you up. But you keep hitting snooze. You keep running from it. You keep silencing it because you're afraid. Afraid you're not good enough. Afraid it won't work out. Afraid people will judge you. But let me tell you something. You can't let fear bury your fire. Your job is to go find it. And finding your fire ain't easy. It takes work. It takes time. It takes sacrifice. It takes silence. You gotta shut off the noise. Stop scrolling. Stop comparing. Stop waiting for someone else to give you permission to chase your calling. This is your life. This is your journey, and nobody can walk it for you. Nobody can find your fire for you. That's your responsibility. Maybe your fire is helping others. Maybe it's building something. Maybe it's creating music or changing education or healing people or leading a movement. Whatever it is, it's yours. And the world is waiting on it. Understand this. The fire inside of you isn't just about the people you're called to serve. There's somebody out there who needs your story, somebody who needs your vision, somebody who's waiting on you to be bold enough to be you. But if you never find that fire, you rob them of the blessing that only you can bring. You rob the world of your gift. You gotta make a decision right now that you're done living by default, that you're done living by other people's expectations. You're done being what they want you to be and ready to become who you were created to be. And that starts with going inward, getting still, listening, reflecting, asking yourself the hard questions, and not stopping until you get the answer. Because once you find your fire, everything changes. Your energy changes, your focus sharpens, your discipline strengthens. You stop being driven by pressure and start being pulled by purpose. And let me say this, it's never too late. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how many times you failed. I don't care how many people counted you out. If you're still breathing, the fire is still there. It might be small, it might be flickering, but it's not out. It can still burn. But you gotta want it. You gotta chase it. You gotta commit to the process of discovering it, because that's the only way you'll truly live. Until you find your fire, you're just existing. But the moment you do, you start living with intention, with direction, with power. And don't expect everybody to understand your fire. Don't expect people to support you, especially in the beginning. They didn't feel what you felt. They didn't see what you saw. They didn't hear what God whispered to you in the dark. That fire wasn't planted in them. It was planted in you. That means it's your job to protect it, to nurture it, to fight for it. People might laugh. They might doubt. But that's okay, because you didn't start this journey for their approval. You started it because you refused to live another day with your fire buried under fear and insecurity. Listen to me. If you don't find your fire, life will feel like a burden. You'll wake up tired, fall asleep empty. You'll always feel like something missing. But the moment you connect with that purpose, you start living on another level. You get up with energy. You grind with passion. You fight through the obstacles because you know it's worth it. And when the storms come and they win, you don't fold. You don't quit, because the fire keeps you warm. It keeps you focused. It reminds you why you started. So I'm challenging you today, right now, stop running. Stop hiding. Stop waiting for the perfect time. Go find your fire. Look inside yourself and be honest. What sets your soul on fire? What would you do even if you weren't getting paid? What would you fight for even if nobody clapped? That's where your fire lives. And when you find it, hold on to it. Feed it. Follow it. Let it guide your steps. Let it shape your decision. Let it be the reason you say yes to purpose and a no to distraction. Don't let the world bury your fire. Don't let comfort kill your calling. You got one life, one shot, one opportunity to make it count. And it starts with finding your fire. So rise up, dig deep, and go get what's already inside of you. Your fire is way deep. When you find your fire, when you truly connect to the thing that makes your heart beat faster, that ignites your soul, you don't need someone standing over your shoulder telling you to keep going. You don't need motivational videos every morning just to get out of bed. You don't need anyone checking in on you or pushing you or reminding you why you started. Because once that fire is lit inside of you, it becomes a fuel that drives you forward every single day. It wakes you up before the alarm. It keeps you grinding long after others have gone to sleep. When you follow fire, you don't need external motivation, because what's inside you is already louder than anything outside of you. Most people go through life looking for something or someone to motivate them. They wait for the right podcast, the right speech, the right moment to feel inspired. But that kind of motivation is temporary. It fades. It wears off. One day you feel pumped. The next day you're back to procrastinating. That's because you're living from the outside and instead of the inside out. True power, real consistency comes when you stop depending on motivation and start depending on your mission. And that mission, that's the fire. That's the thing that, once you find it, becomes a permanent source of energy in your life. You don't need to be motivated to breathe. You don't need to be motivated to eat. You don't need to be motivated to sleep. Why? Because these are things your body needs to survive. When your fire becomes just as essential, when your purpose becomes your oxygen, you don't wait for motivation. You move because your life depends on it. You grind because it's who you are now. The hustle becomes your heartbeat. The effort becomes your identity. And once you lock into that mindset, nothing can stop you. See, motivation wears off, but discipline rooted in purpose, that's forever. When you're following your fire, you're not doing things because someone told you to. You're not showing up because it looks good. You're not working hard because someone's watching. You're doing it because you can't not do it. You're moving forward because sitting still would kill your spirit. That's the difference between the people who live average lives and the ones who make history. The ones who live average lives that need to be motivated. But the ones who make history, they're driven by something deeper. That kind of internal fire is rare. And it's powerful. Because when life hits, and it will, you don't fold. You don't quit. You don't need someone to tell you to keep going. You've already decided you're not gonna stop. It's no longer about how you feel. It's no longer about how hard it is. You're locked in because your purpose is bigger than your pain. Your mission is greater than your mood. You found something worth fighting for, and now quitting isn't even an option. And that's what separates those who finish strong from those who never start. The ones who never start are waiting for the right time, the perfect moment, the ideal level of motivation. But guess what? That moment doesn't exist. Life doesn't hand out perfect conditions. There will always be obstacles, always be distractions, always be excuses. But when you're following fire, none of that matters. You show up anyway. You grind anyway, you win anyway. Because your purpose refuses to let you be ordinary. You don't need a cheerleader when you're walking in purpose. You don't need a crowd. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. Because the fire inside you becomes your own encouragement. It becomes your own coach. It becomes your reminder that you were made for more. That even if nobody believes in you, even if nobody claps for you, you still show up. Because your why is bigger than your who. You follow that fire because it's yours. It's personal. It's sacred. And here's the beauty of it. When you stop depending on external motivation, you take your power back. You stop waiting. You stop hesitating. You stop making excuses. You stop looking for someone to give you permission to be great. You just go. You just grind. You just build. Because you know who you are. You know what you're about and you know what you're chasing. Every single day, the world will give you reasons to quit. It'll test you. It'll push you. It'll try to knock the fire out of you. But if that fire is real, it'll keep burning. Even on the hard days. Even when the results don't show. Even when nobody is watching. Because that fire isn't tied to outcomes. It's tied to purpose. You don't follow fire because it's easy. You follow fire because it's necessary. Because it gives your life direction. It gives your life weight. It gives your life meaning. There are going to be mornings when you don't feel like it. Nights when you're tired. Moments when you question everything. But if that fire is real, it won't let you stay down. You'll cry and keep going. You'll fail and get back up. You'll fall short and keep showing up. Because the fire never dies, it just transforms, it matures, it strengthens. And over time, it becomes your greatest asset. Your secret weapon, your superpower. So stop looking for motivation. Stop waiting for someone else to light your fire. Stop hoping for the perfect moment. You don't need any of that. What you need is to get clear on your purpose. What you need is to fall in love with your calling. What you need is to make a decision that you're done living on autopilot. That you're done chasing inspiration and ready to live from intention. That you're done being a follower of feeling and ready to be a follower of fire. You already have everything you need. The gifts, the passion, the calling, it's already inside of you, but it won't come alive until you stop looking outward and start living inward. Until you stop asking for motivation and start chasing your mission. That's when everything shifts. That's when your life goes from mediocre to meaningful. That's when your grind becomes sacred. Because now you're not just working, you're walking in purpose. And once that fire is burning, you protect it, you guard it, you feed it. It's not just about you. That fire you carry, it's light for someone else's darkness. It's hope for someone else's pain. It's fuel for someone else's journey. But they'll never see it if you keep hiding it. They'll never feel it if you keep shrinking. So be bold, be relentless, be on fire, and let that fire lead you, fuel you, and finish what you started. You don't need external motivation when your internal fire is real. Let that fire drive you. Let it define you. Let it define you. Let it deliver you to your destiny. Every fire you find inside yourself must be fed, or it will die. It doesn't matter how bright it burned yesterday. If you stop feeding it today, it will flicker, it will fade, and eventually it will go out. That's what happens to most people. They get a glimpse of something powerful inside of them. A dream, a vision, a calling, but they never feed it. They think passion is enough. They think that one moment of inspiration can carry them forever. But fire doesn't last without fuel. And in the same way, your purpose, your drive, your dream will not survive if you don't feed it every single day. Feeding your fire is not optional, it's essential. If you want to build something that lasts, if you want to live a life that matters, you got to get serious about what you're feeding yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually. Every day, you're either feeding your fire or feeding your doubts. Every word you listen to, every thought you entertain, every person you spend time with, it's not pushing you forward or pulling you back. There's no in between. And if you're not intentional, your doubts will eat you alive. They'll sit in the back of your mind whispering things like, oh, you're not good enough. It's too late. You'll never make it. Those doubts don't just disappear because you had one good day. They come back again and again. That's why you gotta fight back daily. That's why you gotta wake up and choose purpose. Choose discipline. Choose to feed your fire instead of feeding your fear. You can't expect to stay hungry, chasing greatness if all you feed yourself is negativity. If all you do is scroll through comparison traps on social media, surround yourself with people who don't believe in dreams, and listen to the voice in your head that always says a quit, then don't be surprised when your fire goes cold. If you're not feeding the right thing, you're feeding the wrong thing. If you're not pouring gasoline on your purpose, you're letting water pour on your passion. Feeding your fire means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means studying your craft even when nobody's watching. It means practicing, growing, stretching, building when everyone else is relaxing. It means listening to that one podcast that lights you up instead of wasting an hour on something meaningless. It means writing when your fingers hurt, speaking when your voice shakes, grinding when your heart is tired. It means showing up for yourself every single day because your fire matters that much. When you feed your fire, you also protect your mind. You don't let everything in. You don't entertain every opinion. You don't let small thinkers speak death over your big dreams. Because you know that words are powerful. Thoughts are powerful. And the wrong words, the wrong energy, the wrong people can smother your fire before it ever has a chance to grow. That's why you gotta be selective, be protective. Be intentional about your environment. You can't light a fire in a place that keeps pouring rain on your ambition. You've got to start surrounding yourself with fuel, with people who burn too, with voices that challenge you, with content that sharpens you, with content that sharpens you. You've got to read things that stretch your mind. Listen to things that lift your spirit. Be around people who make you want to be better. That's how you keep the fire alive. That's how you keep moving forward when life gets heavy. Because make no mistake, storms will come, setbacks will happen. Life will try to blow your fire out, but if you've been feeding it daily, it won't go out. It'll survive, it'll grow stronger. It'll light the path through the darkest seasons. Doubts, on the other hand, always hungry. They feed on fear, on insecurity, on inaction. If you don't move, they get stronger. If you don't fight back, they take over. Doubts are like weeds in a garden. You don't have to plant them. They show up automatically, but you do have to uproot them. You do have to intentionally remove them. You do have to replace them with truth, with belief, with purpose. You have to remind yourself every day who you are and why you started. You have to create rituals that feed your fire. Maybe it's waking up early to journal your goals. Maybe it's listening to something powerful on your commute. Maybe it's setting aside time every day to dream, to build, to work on what matters most. Whatever it is, make it sacred. Make it consistent. Make it non-negotiable. Because when you feed the fire consistently, the momentum builds. The focus sharpens. The voice of doubt gets quieter. And the voice of destiny gets louder. You'll start to notice something powerful. The more you feed your fire, the more it feeds you. It gives you energy. It gives you clarity. It gives you resilience, and it gives you peace. Because there's a kind of peace that comes from knowing you're walking in your calling. A confidence that isn't arrogant, but anchored. You start to trust yourself. You start to believe in your vision again. You start to walk with power instead of permission. And that's the moment when everything changes. Because now you're not just chasing fire, you're living from it. It's not something you're trying to catch, it's something that burns inside of you. People will look at you and wonder where your energy comes from. They'll ask how you stay so focused, so disciplined, so on fire. And you'll know it didn't come from luck. It didn't come from hype. It came from commitment, from feeding your fire every day when nobody was clapping, from believing when nobody else believed. The world doesn't need more lukewarm people. It doesn't need more folks half in and half out. It needs people on fire, people who have found what makes them come alive and who protect it at all costs. People who feed it daily, who grow it, who honor it, who share it. Because your fire, when it's real, has the power to light up someone else's darkness, but only if it's burning strong. So if you want to stay on fire, stop feeding your fears. Stop feeding your distractions. Stop feeding your doubts. Stop those things. Cut them off. Replace them with truth. Replace them with belief. Replace them with action. Because every step you take in purpose is another log on your fire. Every moment you choose discipline over comfort is another flame. And every time you silence the voice that says you can't, I'm replacing with a watch me. You take your fire to another level. Don't wait for the fire to come back. Feed it. Don't wish you were more motivated. Feed your spirit. Don't hope the doubt goes away. Starve it by taking action. You've got everything you need. Now all that's left is for you to feed the fire every day, without fail, with intention, with focus, with everything you got. Because your future depends on it, your legacy depends on it, and most of all, you depend on it. The moment you decide to chase your fire, to walk in your purpose, to live with passion, people are going to doubt you. That's a guarantee. The moment you step out of the box society puts you in, the moment you start doing something different, something bold, something real, people are going to talk. They're going to question you. They're going to laugh, criticize, whisper behind your back, and sometimes even try to pull you back down. But that's not a sign to stop. That's not a signal to turn around. That's confirmation that your fire is real. Because people don't question things that don't matter. They don't hate on things that aren't a threat. When they doubt your fire, it's proof that it's powerful. The truth is, most people can't handle someone who's fully alive. They can't handle someone who's relentless. Someone who wakes up every morning with a vision, with discipline, with intensity. Because when your fire is real, it exposes the excuses in others. When your hunger is visible, it makes others uncomfortable. So instead of rising up to your level, they'll try to bring you back down to theirs. Not because they're evil, not because they hate you, but because your fire reminds them of their own that they bury. Kind of reminder, esteem. You've got to understand that not everyone's going to get it. Not everyone is going to support you. Not everyone is going to clap when you start winning. And that's okay. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it because something inside of you refuses to settle. Something inside of you knows you were meant for more. And that fire, that conviction, is not up for debate. You don't need votes. You don't need consensus. You need commitment. You need clarity. You need courage. And most of all, you need to remember that people's doubt doesn't define your destiny. Let them doubt. Let them talk. Let them roll their eyes and say, who does he think he is? Who them say she'll never make it? Because every time they say you can't, it's a chance for you to say, watch me. Every time they laugh, it's a chance for you to lock in. Every time they turn their back, it's a moment to go deeper, to focus harder, to grind stronger. Their doubt is fuel. Let it push you, not paralyze you. The ones who made history, they were doubted first. The ones who changed the world, they were laughed at, ridiculed, ignored. People said they were crazy, said their dreams were too big, said their vision was impossible. But they didn't let the noise kill their fire. They didn't let the opinions of the crowd drown out the voice of purpose. They kept going. They stayed focused. They believed when nobody else did. And eventually, the world that once doubted them had no choice but to watch them rise. So don't be surprised when the doubters show up. Don't be shocked when the support you expected doesn't come. That's part of the process. The real question is, what are you going to do when it happens? Are you going to shrink back? Are you going to water down your dream? Are you going to dim your fire just to make other people feel comfortable? Or are you going to rise up, own your vision, and walk in your truth regardless? Because this journey isn't about being liked. It's about being real. It's about living in alignment with who you are, not who they expect you to be. It's about being bold enough to say, even if you don't see it, I do. Even if you don't believe in it, I will. Even if you turn your back, I'm moving forward. That's the energy. That's the mindset. That's what it takes to keep the fire burning when the world is trying to put it out. You see, people will doubt what they don't understand. They'll reject what doesn't fit their limited view of reality. And most of the time, their doubt has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. Their own insecurity, their own fears. Don't take it personal. Don't internalize their limitations. Just because they gave up on their dream doesn't mean you have to give up on yours. Let their doubt be a mirror, not to reflect your weakness, but to reflect your strength. Because if you weren't doing something powerful, something important, something real, they wouldn't be doubting you. They wouldn't even notice you. The moment you feel resistance is the moment you know you're going in the right direction. Fire always attracts attention. Light always breaks through darkness. And when your fire is blazing, it will draw eyes. Some will be inspired, some will be offended, but all will notice. Don't let their silence become your silence. Don't let their doubt become your doubt. Keep speaking life into your dream. Keep showing up with energy. Keep doing the work when nobody's watching. Because you weren't called to be ordinary. You weren't created to stay hidden. Your fire was meant to shine. And if that means losing a few friends along the way, so be it. If that means standing alone for a while, so be it. Because the reward of living your truth is greater than the comfort of fitting in. The fire inside of you is sacred. It's a gift. And it's your responsibility to guard, grow it, and walk boldly with it. Don't waste energy trying to prove yourself to doubters. Don't spend your time convincing people who have already decided not to believe. Let your results do the talking. Let your work speak louder than their words, speak louder than their word. Let your growth be the evidence. And one day, the same people who doubted you would have no choice but to say, I didn't see it then, but now I do. Keep going, keep building, keep feeding your fire. Because the truth is that doubt can't stop you unless you let it. Their opinion can't define you unless you accept it. Your fire is stronger than their fear. Your purpose is bigger than their small talk. You've got something they didn't give you, and that means they can't take it away. Let them doubt, let them talk, let them watch. But you stay focused. You stay faithful. You stay on fire. Because your destiny doesn't need their permission. It only needs your persistence. When the fire is real, it doesn't care about the clock. It doesn't need an alarm. It doesn't wait for perfect condition. When the fire is real, it wakes you up before the world does. It whispers in your ear before the sun even rises. It tugs at your soul while others are still sleeping. It stirs something inside of you that says, you can't rest here. You got work to do. That's what purpose does. That's what passion sounds like. It won't let you sleep in comfort when your calling is calling your name. Most people drag themselves out of bed every morning. They need 5 alarms, 3 snoozes, and a strong cup of coffee just to function. Why? Because they're not chasing something that excites them. They're not being pulled by purpose. They're being pushed by pressure. They're being driven by obligation, not inspiration. But when the fire is real, it flips the whole dynamic. You don't need to be forced. You're fueled from within. You get up early, not because you have to, but because you want to. Because you're lit from the inside. Because something inside of you is louder than the comfort of sleep. When your purpose is real, your priorities change. The bed used to be a comfort zone. Now it's a launching pad. Sleep used to be an escape. Now it's a recharge for war. Rest becomes strategic, not an excuse. Because you got something you're building. You got somewhere you're going. You got a vision you can't let die. And every minute you waste sleeping on your potential is a minute you're stealing from your purpose. It's not that sleep isn't important. It's that your reason for waking up becomes bigger than your desire to stay asleep. It's that your why is so strong it pulls you out of bed with urgency. You stop living autopilot. You stop dreading the morning. You stop dragging your feet. Instead, you rise with clarity. You rise with conviction. You rise with a fire in your belly and a vision in your heart. Let me be clear. This doesn't mean you won't get tired. It doesn't mean you won't feel exhausted some days. But when the fire is real, the fatigue doesn't win. The pressure doesn't win. The comfort doesn't win. Your purpose keeps you moving. It becomes the engine that drives you, the reason you sacrifice, the reason you stretch. And when the world sees you grinding, sees you rising early, staying up late, giving everything you got, they'll think you're superhuman. But you'll know it's not superpowers, it's the fire. There's a different kind of energy that comes from being in alignment, from knowing exactly what you're chasing and why you're chasing it. From locking into your calling with no plan B, from walking through life with intentionality, with passion, with direction. It's not about hype, it's about hunger. It's not about noise, it's about clarity. And that clarity, that fire, it wakes you up in the morning because it refuses to let your gift die in silence. People ask, how do you stay consistent? The answer is simple. I found something that moves me, something that won't let me rest. Something that makes mediocrity feel like pain. I don't need to be motivated. I'm moved by mission. I don't wait for the right move. I wake up in the right mindset. Because when you know your time is limited, when you understand that every second counts, you stop sleeping through life. You start showing up different. You start grinding different. You start walking with urgency. You see, fire has rhythm, it has pattern. It doesn't wait for your feelings to catch up. It leads them. When you let your fire lead, your body follows. Your mind adjusts. Your attitude shifts. And even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you're uncomfortable, you keep moving. Because your dream matters, because your life matters, because your legacy is at stake. It's easy to sleep when nothing calls you, but when you've seen the vision, when you've tasted purpose, when you felt what it's like to be fully alive, you can't go back. You can't pretend you don't care. You can't hit snooze on your calling. That fire, it's a gift and a responsibility. It's a weight and a weapon. It's the thing that makes you unstoppable. Not because life gets easier, but because you get stronger. And here's the truth. Most people never wake up to their fire. They never find the thing that moves them. They sleep on their gifts. They sleep on their potential. They sleep on their greatness. And the saddest part, they think that's normal. They think that's life. But that's not living. That's surviving. That's existing. You were not born to sleepwalk through life. You were born to wake up with purpose, to move with power, to rise with passion. So if the fire is waking you up, don't ignore it. Don't suppress it. Don't run from it. Honor it. Listen to it. Let it guide your morning. Let it shape your habits. Let it set the tone for your day. Because when you move from that place, you're no longer just reacting to life. You're creating it. You're building it. You're living it on your terms. And yes, it takes sacrifice. Yes, it takes discipline, but the rewards are worth it. The peace, the power, the impact, that feeling of laying your head down at night knowing you gave everything you had to something that matters, that's priceless. That's legacy. That's life with fire. You don't need external alarms when your internal fire is real. You don't need someone yelling at you to get up when your soul is already on fire. You don't need external reminders when your purpose won't let you rest. That's how you know you're locked in. That's how you know it's real. When the fire is so strong, it wakes you up and says, oh, let's go. So stop waiting for motivation. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop letting your comfort dictate your commitment. Get up, get focused, get moving. Feed the fire, follow the fire, and let that fire wake you up every single day. Not just from your sleep, but from your limitations, your fears, your excuses, your past. Let that fire make you alive, because that's what it was put there for. The fire isn't random, it's divine. It's the fingerprint of purpose on your soul. It's the evidence that you were meant for more. So when it wakes you up, rise. When it whispers, listen. When it calls, answer. Because one day the world will see what that fire builds. One day they'll understand why you moved the way you did. But until then, you just keep rising. You just keep grinding. You just keep showing up. Because the fire is real, and that's all you need. Discovering your passion is the first step toward living the life you were born to live. Every person walking on this planet was created with a unique gift. A unique gift, a unique energy, a unique fire deep inside of them. Some people know what it is early in life. They feel in their bones. They can't stop thinking about it. They're drawn to it like a magnet. Others struggle for years, going from one thing to another, working jobs they don't care about, living for weekends and waiting for vacations, because deep down they know they are not living their true calling. But the truth is this, your passion is not something far away. It's not something you need to beg for, it's already inside of you. It's that thing that lights you up when you talk about it. That thing you lose track of time doing. That thing you would do even if nobody paid you a dime. The challenge is most people ignore it, bury it under fear, or trade it for comfort. When you start to discover your passion, it's not always a lightning strike moment. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's something you've been doing since you were a child, but you never took it seriously. Think about the moments when you felt most alive, most in flow, most unstoppable. Think about the times when hours felt like minutes because you were so consumed with what you were doing. That's your passion talking to you. But the problem is that the world doesn't always celebrate passion. Don't always celebrate passion. The world celebrates safety, stability, and tradition. You might hear people say, that's not practical, or that won't make money, or nobody has ever done that before. And if you listen to them too much, you'll end up silencing the very voice that's trying to guide you to your destiny. Discovering your passion takes courage because it means being honest with yourself. It means admitting that maybe the path you're on isn't the path that fulfills you. It means saying to yourself, I don't just want to exist, I want to live. And that honesty is scary because once you know what your passion is, you can't unknow it You can't go back to pretending you don't care. You can't go back to blaming the world for not giving you opportunities. Because now you know what you want, and the responsibility is on you to chase it. That's why so many people avoid facing their passion. They'd rather stay comfortable in denial than deal with the discomfort of chasing something uncertain. But passion is what fuels greatness. Every great inventor, every great artist, every great leader, every person who changed the world started with passion. Passion gave them energy when the world told them to quit. Passion gave them creativity when everyone else followed the rules. Passion gave them resilience when life knocked them down. Without passion, you can have talent, you can have resources, you can even have opportunity, but you will not have the fire to endure the storms that come with chasing big dreams. Passion is the difference between giving up when it gets hard and pushing through no matter what. When you discover your passion, you unlock a new level of yourself. Suddenly, life has more meaning. Suddenly, waking up feels different. You're no longer just surviving. You're no longer just surviving. You're living with a mission. And here's the thing. Your passion doesn't always have to be grand or glamorous. It doesn't have to be performing in stadiums, running billion-dollar companies, or being on TV. Your passion might be teaching kids, cooking meals, writing stories, helping people heal, designing homes, or fixing cars. Whatever it is, don't dismiss it just because it doesn't look like the world's definition of success. Passion is personal. It's unique to you. What matters is that it fills you with energy and gives your life direction. Sometimes people confuse passion with hobbies or things they casually enjoy. Passion runs deeper than that. Passion is what you can't stop thinking about even when you try. Passion is what you're willing to sacrifice for. Passion is what you're willing to fail for and keep trying again. If you're not sure what your passion is, stop paying attention to the little clues life gives you. What are you drawn to? What do people often ask for your help with? What makes you lose track of time? What problems in the world make you angry or make you want to act? These are all signposts pointing you toward your fire. Another important part of discovering your passion is being willing to experiment. Too many people sit around waiting for clarity, waiting for a perfect answer to fall from the sky. That's not how it works. Clarity comes through action. You have to try different things, explore different paths, take risks, and see what sticks. You might fail. You might try something and realize it's not for you. That's okay. Failure is not wasted time. It's a step closer to finding what truly drives you. Every experience teaches you something about who you are and what matters to you. The only way you lose is by refusing to move. And let me tell you something, your passion is not just about you. It's about the impact you can make on others. When you operate in your passion, you inspire people. You create opportunity, you solve problems, you bring light to others. Passion has a ripple effect. That's contagious. People are drawn to someone who is on fire because deep down they want to feel that same spark in their own lives. That's why discovering your passion is not selfish, it's service. When you live your passion, you give others permission to live theirs. But don't get it twisted. Discovering your passion doesn't mean the road will be easy. In fact, it often means the opposite. The more passionate you are, the more resistance you'll face. People won't understand why you're working so hard, why you're taking risks, why you're obsessed with something. They'll call you crazy, unrealistic, or stubborn. But you can't expect people who don't share your fire to understand your flame. That's why it's important to protect your passion, to guard it from negativity, and to surround yourself with people who believe in you and push you forward. Some of you are sitting on your passion right now because you're scared. You're scared of failure. You're scared of judgment. You're scared of stepping into the unknown. But let me ask you, what's scarier? Trying and failing, or never trying and living your whole life wondering what could have been? Regret is the heaviest weight you carry. Failure hurts, but regret crushes. If you never chase your passion, you'll never know who you could have become. And that's a tragedy. The truth is, discovering your passion is not just about career or money, it's about fulfillment. You can be rich and miserable if you're not living in your passion. You can have all the material things in the world, but still feel empty if you ignore your fire. But when you're living your passion, even the struggles feel worth it. Even the long nights, the hard work, the sacrifices, they feel meaningful because you know you're working towards something that matters to you. So today, make a decision. Decide that you will no longer ignore the voice inside of you. Decide that you will start taking steps toward discovering and living your passion. Decide that you will not let fear, doubt, or comfort keep you stuck. Life is too short to live without fire. Life is too short to settle for anything less than what sets your soul on fire. Start small if you need to. Carve out time each day to do something connected to your passion. Read about it, practice it, talk to people who are already living it. Feed your fire little by little until it grows stronger. And once you know what it is, commit to it fully. Don't just dabble, don't just dream. Take action. Because passion without action is just fantasy. Remember this, you were not created to blend in, you were created to stand out. You were not created to live in fear, you were created to live in purpose. Your passion is the key to unlocking that purpose. Find it, follow it, and never let it go. Silencing the doubters is one of the hardest yet most necessary steps if you want to live a life on fire. Every time you step out of the ordinary, every time you try to do something different, every time you won't settle for average, the voices will come. Sometimes they come from strangers, sometimes they come from people you know, and heartbreakingly, sometimes they come from the people closest to you, family, friends, co-workers. And here's the truth, those voices can be louder than your own if you're not careful. They can bury your dreams before they even get started. That's why silencing the doubters isn't just about ignoring negativity. It's about building the mental strength to keep believing in yourself when no one else does. Think about it. Every great achiever, every person who ever made history faced doubters. People told them they were crazy, told them it couldn't be done, told them to stay in their lane. But they kept going. They didn't need the world to agree with them because they knew deep inside what they were capable of. If you want to find your fire and follow it, you must do the same. The doubters don't have to believe in you. They don't have to see your vision. It wasn't given to them, it was given to you. Doubters come in many forms. Some are loud, openly criticizing you, mocking you, laughing at your ambition. Others are quiet, using subtle comments that plant seeds of doubt in your mind like, are you sure you can handle that? Or, that seems risky. And then they're the ones who disguise themselves as concerned loved ones. They'll tell you they're just being realistic, that they don't want to see you get hurt, that maybe you should play it safe. On the surface, it might sound like they care, but deep down, what they're really doing is projecting their own fears onto you. They don't believe in themselves, so they can't believe in you. They don't think they could do it, so they assume you can't either. Here's what you need to understand. You cannot live your life trying to make doubters believe in you. That's wasted energy. That's wasted energy. The more time you spend trying to convince people who are committed to misunderstanding you, the less energy you'll have to chase your goals. Your fire was not meant for them to validate. It was meant for you to carry. Silencing the doubters means learning how to block out the noise and tune into your own voice. It means remembering why you started and holding on to your vision even when no one else sees it. Some of you are stuck right now because you let doubters define your decisions. You didn't apply for the job because someone said you weren't qualified. You didn't start the business because someone said it would never work. You didn't pursue your dream because someone laughed at it. And now, instead of living your fire, you're living in fear of other people's opinion. But here's the thing, people will doubt you no matter what you do. If you play small, they'll still have something to say. If you aim high, they'll talk even louder. So why not live boldly? Why not follow your fire anyway? Silencing doubters doesn't mean you'll never hear their voices again. It means you get to the point where their voices don't control you anymore. It means you develop such strong faith in yourself and your purpose that their negativity becomes background noise. Like static on the radio is dead, but it doesn't stop the music from playing. And the way you build that faith is by proving yourself to yourself. Every small win, every step forward, every time you keep going despite their words, you get stronger. Eventually, you realize you don't need their approval because you have your own. There's another side to silencing doubters, and that's turning their doubt into fuel. Let their doubt push you harder, make you hungrier, drive you to go further. There's a certain kind of energy that comes from hearing you can't and deciding to show the world that you can. Doubters think they're breaking you down, but if you let it, that doubt can actually build you up. Use it as motivation. Use it as a reminder of why you're grinding. Use it as a promise to yourself that one day you'll look back and say, this is what you said I couldn't do, and I did it. Now, let's be real. Silencing doubters doesn't just happen overnight. It's a process, and it requires discipline. You have to learn how to control what voices you give access to your mind. Be intentional about your environment. Limit the time you spend with people who drain your energy. Protect your fire from people who only know how to put out flames. Surround yourself with people who believe in you, who push you, who fan your flame instead of smothering it. Because if you keep hanging around doubters, eventually their doubt will sound like your own inner voice. And that's dangerous. Sometimes the loudest doubter is actually you. The self-doubt in your own head can be stronger than anything anyone else says. That inner voice telling you you're not good enough, you don't have what it takes, you're going to fail. That voice is powerful. And silencing the doubters includes silencing that inner critic. You have to learn how to speak to yourself with belief, with confidence, with conviction. You have to remind yourself daily of your worth and your ability. Because if you don't silence your inner doubter, no amount of external validation will ever be enough. The reality is doubters never disappear. Even when you succeed, even when you prove them wrong, there will always be new doubters waiting in line. Some will doubt your next step. Some will say you got lucky. Some will try to tear you down out of jealousy. That's why silencing doubters is not a one-time event, but a lifelong mindset. You can't let yourself be tossed around by other people's opinions. You have to build an anchor of belief so strong that no storm of doubt can move you. Think about the people you admire, the athletes, the entrepreneurs, the artists, the leaders. Every single one of them has a story of people who doubted them. Teachers who said they weren't smart enough, coaches who said they weren't talented enough, friends who said they were wasting their time. But instead of letting those voices stop them, they used those voices as reminders of why they had to keep going. They understood that doubt is often proof that you're aiming high. If no one is doubting you, you're probably not dreaming big enough. So what do you do when the doubters come? You keep moving. You keep working. You let your results speak for themselves. At the end of the day, success is the loudest silence to doubt. When you achieve what they said you could, you don't even have to argue. You don't even have to explain. Your success will be the answer. And the best part, sometimes the same people who doubted you will come back later and ask how you did it. That's when you will realize that doubt was never about you. It was always about them. Now, silencing the doubters is not about fighting with people or trying to change their minds. It's about strengthening yours. It's about becoming so focused, so locked in on your purpose that you don't have the time or energy to entertain negativity. It's about remembering that the only person who has to believe in your fire is you. Once you do, the doubters lose their power. So the next time someone tells you it can't be done, smile and say, "Oh, watch me." The next time someone laughs at your dream, remember that their laughter is just fear in disguise. The next time doubt creeps into your own head, replace it with truth. You are capable, you are worthy, and you have everything it takes to succeed. The fire inside you is stronger than any doubt outside you. At the end of your life, the doubters won't matter. Their opinions won't matter. What will matter is whether you live true to yourself, whether you chased your passion, whether you followed your fire. Fueling your fire daily is the secret to keeping your passion alive. It's not enough to find your fire once and think that's the end of the journey. Passion is like a flame. It can burn bright, but if you don't feed it, it will dim. Too many people get excited for a moment, feel motivated for a day, maybe a week, and then let that spark fade because they didn't learn how to fuel it consistently. Success doesn't belong to those who feel motivated sometimes. It belongs to those who know how to sustain that fire every single day, no matter how they feel, no matter what life throws at them. You have to understand something: motivation is temporary. Motivation is like a sugar rush. It gives you energy in the moment, but it wears off. Discipline is the fuel that keeps your fire burning when motivation runs out. Fueling your fire daily means developing habits, rituals, and routines that constantly remind you of why you started. It means surrounding yourself with things that add wood to the fire instead of pouring water on it. It means being intentional about what you consume, what you think, who you spend time with, and how you use your time. When you wake up in the morning, your fire is either stronger or weaker, depending on how you choose to start your day. If the first thing you do is complain, scroll through negativity, or feed yourself with doubt, you've already started to smother your flame. But if you wake up with gratitude, focus, and intention, if you remind yourself of your goals and take even one small action toward them, you're feeding the fire. And here's the truth. The small things matter. Daily disciplines matter more than big bursts of effort. You don't need to do everything in one day. You need to do something every day. Think of your passion like a plant. If you water it daily, it grows. If you neglect it, it withers. Some people think passion is supposed to be effortless. Like if you really love something, you'll always feel excited about it. That's not true. Even when you love something, you'll have days when you feel tired, unmotivated, or discouraged. That's why fueling your fire daily is essential. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about doing the work when the excitement isn't there. It's about building a habit of consistency so that your fire becomes unshakable. Fueling your fire daily also means being mindful of what drains your energy. Just like you have to add wood to a fire, you also have to protect it from things that can put it out. That might mean limiting time with negative people, cutting out distraction, or saying no to things that don't align with your purpose. Every yes to something meaningless is a no to something that feeds your fire. The more you protect your energy, the stronger your flame becomes. Another key part of fueling your fire is feeding your mind. Your fire starts in your mind before it shows up anywhere else. The thoughts you think, the words you speak, the content you consume, all of these are fuel. If you constantly listen to negativity, gossip, fear, and doubt, you're putting water on your fire. But if you fill your mind with inspiration, education, and belief, you're adding wood to the flame. That's why reading books, listening to uplifting speeches, learning new skills, surrounding yourself with driven people are so powerful. They keep your fire alive. And don't forget the role of gratitude in fueling your fire. Gratitude is like oxygen for your flame. When you focus on what you're thankful for, you remind yourself of how far you've come, and that gives you strength to keep going. Too many people lose their fire because they only focus on what they don't have, what they haven't achieved yet, or how far they still have to go. But when you pause and acknowledge the progress you've already made, it reignites your motivation to keep pushing. Gratitude keeps you hungry, but also grounded. Fueling your fire daily also requires you to revisit your why. Your why is the deepest reason behind your passion. It's not just about making money, getting recognition, or achieving status. Those things can motivate you temporarily, but they won't sustain you when the road gets tough. Your why has to be bigger than that. Maybe it's providing for your family, breaking generational cycles, proving to yourself that you can, or impacting the lives of others. Whatever it is, your why is the strongest fuel you have. Every single day, remind yourself of that why. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Put it somewhere you can see it. Because when you forget your why, your fire weakens. When you remember it, your fire becomes unstoppable. Here's the thing. Fueling your fire daily isn't glamorous. Most of it is behind the scenes. It's the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices nobody sees. It's the discipline of doing the work when nobody is cheering for you. It's the private commitment to yourself long before the public success. People will only see the results later, but the fire is fueled in private. Don't wait for applause. Don't wait for validation. Fuel your fire because you owe it to yourself, not because you need recognition. And let's talk about setbacks. Life is going to throw challenges at you, no matter how passionate you are. You're going to have days when everything seems to go wrong, when your progress feels slow, when you question if it's worth it. Those are the days when fueling your fire daily matters the most. Anybody can feel fired up when everything is going well, but real strength is keeping the fire alive when it feels like everything around you is falling apart. That's when you lean on your routine, your habits, your why. That's when you remind yourself that storms don't last forever, but the fire you keep alive can outlast any storm. Another way to fuel your fire is to celebrate progress, not just perfection. Too many people burn out because they only focus on the finish line. They forget to celebrate the steps along the way. But when you acknowledge your growth, even the small wins, it keeps you motivated to keep going. Progress is fuel. Every time you move forward, no matter how small, you're adding energy to your fire. Your physical health also plays a role in fueling your fire. You can't expect your passion to thrive if your body is drained. Exercising, getting enough sleep, These aren't just about physical well-being. They directly affect your energy and focus. When your body is weak, your fire struggles. When your body is strong, your fire has the fuel it needs to burn brighter. Let's not forget the importance of community in fueling your fire. Being around people who are chasing their own goals, who encourage you, challenge you, and inspire you. This is powerful fuel. Fire spreads when flames are close together. If you isolate yourself or surround yourself with people who are lukewarm about life, your fire will shrink. But if you align yourself with people who burn as brightly as you do, your fire will grow. Find those people. Build that community. Protect that circle. Fueling your fire daily is about intentional choices. Every day you're either adding to your fire or taking from it. Every action, every decision, every thought is fuel and water. You have to ask yourself constantly, is what I'm doing right now feeding my fire or killing it? When you learn to make choices that consistently add fuel, your fire becomes unstoppable. At the end of the day, finding your fire is just the beginning. Following it is the journey. But fueling it daily is what sustains you for a lifetime. This is where most people fall short. They want the excitement of passion without the discipline of maintenance. They want the fire without the work of keeping it alive. Don't be one of those people. Staying committed, not just interested, is one of the most important distinctions you will ever make on your journey to success. Interest is easy. Interest is convenient. Interest feels good in the moment. But commitment is a whole different level. Commitment is what keeps you going once the excitement fades, when the obstacles appear, when the road gets long and lonely. Interest says, I'll do this as long as it's fun, as long as it's easy, as long as it doesn't cost me too much. Commitment says, I'll do this no matter what, no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it gets, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. That's the difference between people who start strong but fade out and people who finish what they started. When you're only interested in something, your effort is conditional. You show up when it's convenient, but you don't when it's not. You give energy when you're motivated, but you quit when motivation disappears. Interest is emotional. Depends on how you feel at any given moment. But commitment is deeper than feelings. Commitment is a decision. It's a vow you make to yourself that doesn't change with circumstance. You don't have to feel like it to stay committed. You just do it because that's who you are. Think about it. Everybody is interested in being successful. Everybody is interested in being financially free, in being in great shape, in having strong relationships, in living a purposeful life. That's not rare. Interest is common. What's rare is commitment. What's rare is people who will still show up on the days they don't want to. What's rare is people who will keep working when nobody's watching, when nobody's cheering, when nobody's clapping. What's rare is people who refuse to quit, even after failure, even after rejection, even after heartbreak. Commitment is rare, and that's why success is rare. The truth is, commitment requires sacrifice. You can't be fully committed and still live with comfort as your highest priority. Commitment means you're willing to give up short-term pleasures for long-term rewards. It means you're willing to miss parties, turn off the TV, wake up earlier, work harder, and endure criticism. It means you're willing to do what most people won't so you can live the life most people can. If you're only interested, the moment sacrifice shows up, you'll quit. But if you're committed, sacrifice isn't something you run from. It's something you embrace because you know it's the price of greatness. Staying committed is also about consistency. Anyone can put in effort once. Anyone can go hard for a day, a week, or even a month. But true commitment shows itself over time. It's not about intensity once in a while. It's about consistency every single day. Success is built brick by brick, day by day, step by step. You can't build a legacy with sporadic bursts of interest. You build it with daily discipline, with small actions repeated faithfully over and over until they compound into something extraordinary. Commitment is what allows you to keep laying bricks even when you don't yet see the building. One of the challenges with commitment is that it will often put you at odds with the people around you. When you're committed, you make choices that others don't understand. They might call you obsessed, too serious, or too focused. But you have to remember, they're interested, not committed. They don't see what you see. They don't want it as badly as you want it. And they're not willing to pay the price you're willing to pay. That's okay. Commitment is not about pleasing others. It's about honoring your purpose. It's about being loyal to your vision, even if others don't believe in it. Another key aspect of commitment is learning to endure boredom. Interest thrives on excitement. When something feels new and fresh, you're interested. But when the novelty wears off, most people quit. Commitment, on the other hand, is what allows you to keep going even when it feels repetitive, even when it's not glamorous. Think about professional athletes. They spend countless hours practicing the same drill, the same movements over and over again. It's not always exciting, but it's necessary. In life, the same principle applies. If you want to master anything, your craft, your business, your fitness, you have to embrace repetition, embrace routine, embrace the grind. That's where commitment separates you from the crowd. Commitment also demands resilience. Along your journey, you will fail. You will make mistakes. You will be rejected. Interest can't survive failure. It crumbles under pressure. But commitment grows stronger because of it. When you're committed, failure isn't final. It's feedback. Rejection isn't a reason to quit. It's proof that you're in the game. Every setback becomes an opportunity to learn, to adapt, to improve. Commitment turns obstacles into stepping stones. Without commitment, obstacles turn into excuses. Staying committed also means staying connected to your why. Interest is about the surface, the shiny outcome, the recognition, the rewards. Commitment is about the root, the deeper reason that drives you, the fire inside you that won't go out. When you're clear on your why, commitment becomes easier because you're not just chasing something shallow. You're pursuing something meaningful. You're not just running after applause. You're living for purpose. And when you know your why, you'll endure anyhow. Commitment requires discipline. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the mood you set it in has left. Discipline is waking up to train even when the bed feels comfortable. Discipline is choosing water over soda, the gym over the couch, the grind over the party. Discipline is what keeps you aligned with your commitments. Without discipline, commitment becomes just a nice idea. But with discipline, commitment becomes a way of life. It's also important to understand that commitment is not about perfection. It's about persistence. Some people think staying committed means never slipping up, never missing a day, never making mistakes. That's not realistic. You will mess up. You will stumble. You will fall short at times. But commitment is about getting back up every single time. It's about refusing to stay down. It's about refusing to let one mistake turn into a lifestyle. Commitment says, even if I fall 7 times, I'll get up 8. The difference between interested people and committed people is also seen in how they handle time. Interested people say, I'll do it when I have time. Committed people say, I'll make time. Interested people look at their schedule and hope they can fit it in. Committed people build their schedule around it. That's why committed people achieve things that interested people only dream about. They prioritize their vision. They make room for their goals. They don't let distractions rob them of destiny. Commitment also calls for patience. We live in a world obsessed with instant gratification. People want results fast. If they don't see progress right away, they lose interest. But commitment knows that growth takes time. It knows that success is a marathon, not a sprint. Commitment is willing to plant seeds and water them day after day, even when the harvest is nowhere in sight. Commitment trusts the process. Interest wants the prize. Commitment falls in love with the process that leads to the prize. Commitment will test your character. It will ask you, are you willing to stay true to your word even when it's hard? Are you willing to keep promises to yourself even when nobody else is holding you accountable? Are you willing to act in alignment with your values even when it costs you something? Interest doesn't require character. Interest requires curiosity, but commitment requires integrity.